Hey there. So I just wanted to show you this Whitener Consolidated Owner Statement. I went to Reports. Over here, I hit Owner Statement, and consolidated it to Whitener under Owner, not under Property, and hit Preview Packet, and I got my packet. And here is what I want to show you. And so this is from April 14th to May 15th. So this is after the statement you sent me in that email. I did go ahead and run a new statement. So this doesn't have the same figures as your email, I don't believe. Let's see here. Right, because I went ahead and sent him the funds. So the beginning balance, of course, is what it is, right? Left over from last month or from, after the 14th or prior to the 14th. Cash in and cash out is just what transpired during this time. That's how much cash came in, that's how much cash went out. The owner disbursements, yep, that's what it is. So in between April and May, we've sent him this amount. The ending cash balance is all the money we have on hand, including any maintenance reserves money. The property reserve amount is the amount we want to keep in reserve that we say he owes in reserve. And it's a negative because we don't really have that in the reserve right now. I had to release that in order to pay for some bills. So if you wanted to break it down, you would come here. This is the first property. And you see, I paid him out $2,300. And so he has no money left. And he should have 300 reserves, but we don't. So we have a negative 300. That's why this reserve money is a negative, because I ended up needing the money to pay bills and to send him enough to pay the mortgage. And so this just breaks it down for each property. And again, so this summarizes it at the top, and then here it breaks it down, line item, the beginning cash. That's how much I ended up sending him in April. Left him with 300 reserve, and then rent came in, took our commission, and I ended up sending all of it to him. Well, actually not sending it. I had to transfer all the money into this unit to pay for Mike's bill. So that left him with a zero balance and a negative on the reserve. So same thing here. When you look at it, see, I transferred this money to the Whitener 422 unit to pay for that maintenance reserve that I needed to pay for. And so that's how you read it. This is, of course, the property that we're not doing anything on yet. We've got estimates for it. So that's why it tells them to submit a balance. And this one's pretty cut and dry. It started with 1,000. We dispersed 700. We left him with his reserve, and then the rent came in, and we took the management fees, and we released 700 to him, left with the 300 reserve. So this one has a 300 reserve, and so then here we are at 408. It looks like in summary up here, we can see that cash came in, that cash went out. We ended up sending the owner $2,000, and the ending cash balance is 300. We asked for a 300 reserve, so we got that 300 reserve. See, because it's the ending cash balance is 300. This all breaks that down again. And then you can see this was an owner disbursement instead of a transfer to 422. And then here's 422. So we had a little bit of money, and then we paid Mike. And then because it was entered twice, we paid Mike again. Then he refunded that to me. So that cancels this out so that we only paid him once. We had the expense for the turnover repairs that he did. And then I transferred money from these units in so that I was no longer at a negative, because when I paid this bill, I ended up, and actually I was at a negative before that. So we have $200 left in this account. And then this one's pretty cut and dry. You had your Beginning balance, we sent 1150 to the owner in April, took our fee in May, and we had the rent come in, and then we transferred those funds over to 422. We didn't leave any money, so the reserve's 300, and there is no 300, so that's why it says to remit the 300. And this should be, so anyway, that's how it works. You can kind of look at all of them, and then when you just pull up owner's statement instead of putting in a property address in this function here, instead of putting in the property address, you put in the owner statement. That's how you get all of this consolidated summary. And this is the big picture, and bottom line, that's the money he has. Cash, ending cash balance, that's how much we have. But there, if there were any payables due, which there aren't right now, then you would see an unpaid payable. And let's say the ending cash balance is 809, and he's got 809 in unpaid payables, he has no money to be sent. All right, thank you. Bye.